All right, everyone, welcome back once again to this Complexity Cast production. I'm your casting host, Beef, bringing you another Complexity game, more awesome Heroes of Newerth action. This one's going to be coming out of HoN Tour, the losers round of 8. Complexity takes on Pencils in this best of 3 series. Complexity up 1-0. Joining me as a co-caster today is FJ. Dude, we had an awesome first game. You excited for this next one?
I'm definitely excited. Both of these teams are doing so well, and honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what's happening. And as you always see, the luck pool looks very similar to what we just saw. Warbeast, Tempest, Keeper of the Forest. Wow, if we get a repetition of last game, I'm definitely excited.
Warbeast, Tempest, Keeper of the Forest. Are we? I can't actually see one of the locks there.
The next one is Tundra, and then comes Bubbles.
Yeah. For some reason, the first lock, I assume that's Tempest.
Yeah, that's Tempest.
That's bugged out on my screen.
Yeah, that happens once in a while. You'll
That's
probably be
weird.
able to see it midway in the picking phase.
That's odd. Anyway, so yeah, like you said, very cool locks. The blind bands were in fact Parasite, Fade, Ophelia, and Fade. So neither of these teams want to deal with Fade. Her global presence, her ability to gank anywhere on the map, and really to strike fear into the hearts of her enemies. A hero that's feared by all with good reason. But the lockpick completed, as you said, it is in fact Tempest. I'll take your word for that. Keeper of the Forest, Warbeast, Tundra, Bubbles, and Legionnaire. 4 junglers making it in there, as well as 2 heroes with some suicide potential. Tundra making it into the lockpick. Not too common that he makes it in there, especially with Moonmeander on the Complexity team over here. A very, very strong player with that hero. But what do you think about the lockpick in general?
Like the mode or like the luck pool?
Oh, the lock pool. Sorry.
The luck pool, alright. Shouldn't be. It could be fun talking about the mode as well, but
Oh, yeah.
in general, I do believe that this luck pool is featuring a lot of jungling potential. 4 junglers, but also 2 suicide capable heroes. So, I mean, like, both of these teams are going for very balanced luck pool, and I don't believe that either team will be picking up Legionnaire, but I still believe that it's nice to have it out there, just in case, you know. Legionnaire is pretty good against something like against Keeper of the Forest, for instance, because if you can match the taunt onto those minions that Keeper of the Forest spawns, if you can jump into that, it provides a lot of damage. If you can kind of taunt while there's a lot of minions around them. So yeah, we'll see. I do believe it's a bit of a luck that they didn't know what else to luck, but as you see, a very balanced luck pool right there.
Okay. So you don't think that we have a possibility of seeing Legionnaire? I've been watching a lot of scrims lately, and he's been making his way into these games quite frequently. Chessie playing an extremely good Legionnaire in their games against Arena Online Esports a little bit earlier in the day. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Legionnaire. I, in fact, love seeing that hero.
I gotta admit, Legionnaire is one of my favorite heroes myself, but the thing is, if you play something like Legionnaire, it's just really easy to shut him down, because Legionnaire is so damn weak until that mark where he has both like Helm's Back Legion, Chalice, PK. Until then, he doesn't provide as much as the other heroes. For instance, he doesn't have a lot of push potential, like you, for instance, see that Ophelia and Tempest has, a Keeper. He doesn't have much gank potential. He does have to charge, but you know, it's not so easy ganking with that hero, is it?
Yeah, like you said, the push potential not exactly there. So we'll see if it does make its way in and in what way the hero is used. We actually saw it when I was watching a scrim between, I believe, Vote and who was Vote playing earlier today? I want to say it was Vote and Fit. And they were playing, and Z-Freak playing the Legionnaire was actually using it in a creep cutting potential. I believe it was in fact Legionnaire and Prophet. Yeah, in the long lane. They were creep cutting with a Keeper of the Forest there as well. Predator and Engineer were trying to defend that. They weren't able to. So lots of different ways that hero can be used. But enough about all those games. Getting into the bans here on this game. Draconis, Pebbles, Meraxis, Dark Lady, Magnus, and Silhouette. Everything the same other than Magnus, which did replace Nymphora in this game's ban pool. So definitely a little bit similar from the last one. Anything stick out there for you?
Oh, well, it's kind of curious to see that B-Kit is actually banning Magnus, looking at, like, knowing how good a Magnus B-Kit is. but I guess they just didn't want to go for that lineup in this go for that hero in this lineup, so went for something else. And now we're gonna be looking at B-Kid playing the Witch there, probably in the middle lane, as he does so very often.
Yeah, B-Kid, very, very strong Witch Slayer. 2 days ago, we did, in fact, cast B-Kid's Witch Slayer up against Riser from TT Esports, playing Deadwood mid. And damn, if B-Kid did not make some big plays. I think Riser was at 7 deaths about 20 minutes into the game that day. I think Keizu was with me, I believe, for that game. And damn, B-Kid, he likes to shoot some people in the face with that big silver bullet, and that's what he was doing. And in fact, Deadwood coming out here in this game as well. So, very real possibility we'll see that matchup once again.
I'll be honest, if B-Kid had predicted those picks, I would eat my hat. Wild Soul, Deadwood, and Prophet, you did not see that happening often. Oh boy.
This is the first time I've seen Wild Soul be picked in a long time. He does not make it through the blind banning and banning phase very often. So going to be very interesting to see that Wild Soul, probably going to be used in some kind of a suicide capacity, but we'll see. Although, okay, let's get into these picks. So we're starting to talk about them, but first pick was in fact Mage Man coming out of Complexity here. So Haxrin already got his hard carry all picked out. The counter picks were in fact Prophet and Wild Soul. What's up with those counter picks? Does that make sense to you? Do one of those two heroes really kind of counter the Mage Main style strategy?
Honestly, no. I don't know. That lineup seems pretty weird to me, but I believe that this is some of those lineups where you want to be surprising against the enemy and kind of want to play against them on your own field. Like honestly, I don't think Complexity really knows what they're facing in this lineup, going against this lineup. But if you look at it from Pencil's perspective, they feel like they're playing this lineup or playing this game on their turf, on their court. So it feels like they have the advantage in the game, knowing that they know exactly what Complexity Gaming is going to do. They know exactly what lanes they're going to be running. But honestly, I don't think Complexity Gaming has much of a clue what we're going to be seeing from the Hellbound scene.
It's an extremely strange lineup over there for Pencils. Pablo McDad going to be playing that Tundra. Bassett's the mid player on that Deadwood. Sweet Pro on the Tempest, probably going to be hanging out in the jungle. Flensmeister there on the Wild Soul. And Fine on the Prophet. So a very, very strange lineup. I can honestly say I've never seen all 5 of these heroes together. I've probably never even seen 4 of these heroes together on one team before. Pretty strange, but we in fact will see that. Pablo McDad doing a little bit of clear cutting right there as he takes down some trees and places that ward right there. So we'll see what lanes do happen here. It looks like Wild Soul is going to be soloing short, actually.
Yeah, and well, I kind of, if they're expecting Wild Soul to be going up against Bubbles, then I can kind of agree with that, because Wild Soul should indeed be beating Bubbles pretty easily, but you never know. You never know.
Okay. Boo Boo already down there, dug into the trees just above the 2nd tier bottom Legion tower. Going to be going for those creeps to drag them off and give a little bit better laning position to Suicide Tundra over here. And the Tempest being played by Sweet Pro going to be denying, just like we saw in last game. So Boo Boo going to be changing up positions there with the Tree Dogs, but this is going to give positive laning position here to Pablo McDad, so he might have a little bit better time here against a Luna and Haxer than he might otherwise have. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, and if you actually notice, both Keeper of the Forest also did the same trick. He went into the middle lane and spawned those those Tree Dogs in the middle lane and made the position happening at top lane. He went all the way through the forest and pulled the creeps backwards.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry, I'm down here watching Haxer, and Haxer, utilizing that 315 movement speed by Mage Main, he's able to just completely outrun these creeps with all the free room down here. So he's actually going to completely screw over the lane position of Pablo McDad. Say all that hard work was in fact for naught. So there's still going to be a push because one creep was denied by that Tempest, but it's not going to be nearly as bad as if all those creeps had been killed by the tower.
No, definitely not. And Haxon is just gonna have a really good time down here at the bottom lane. And well, Haxon with absolute free farm is definitely something to be scared about, right? We've seen that a lot of times happen. We always see him shine. So yeah. But then again, like that people want to accept that, and people don't wanna adjust to the fact that well, kind of adjusting to it, but they're not gonna try to shut him down in this game, I believe. So Haxon is gonna be certainly pleased with that, and he's gonna have a funny time down here at bottom lane.
He's gonna just be free farming, you know. He's the kind of guy that you expect to go for 15 minutes without missing a creep kill. And if he does that, then the Hellborn team's going to have a very difficult time contending with that Mage Bane at 450, 500 gold per minute, whatever he in fact is at that point. So they're really going to be relying on some of these other lanes to get kills. But Bassett's on this Deadwood. You talk about heroes with kill potential, and heroes with kill potential on a squishy hero like Mage Bane. Deadwood certainly comes to mind, but speaking of kill potential right now, double damage Prophet coming up here behind Moon Meander on the Suicide Bubbles. The Bear going for a little bit of dive here. The Shell Surf was in fact used, and now in comes the Prophet. He's going to hit that Debilitate, the double damage as well, and down goes Moon Meander, but oh, actually a counter kill there. The tower takes out Flensmeister on that Wild Soul, diving just a bit too far. Maybe a little bit of a mistake for Fine not to try to pull tower aggro while he was leaving.
Yeah, absolutely. That was very unfortunate that the Wild Zone had to die. Otherwise, that would have been a very good trade-off. But yeah, Moomian are picking up a little bit of gold right there, and well done by Moomian. I'm about to say, well, at least he didn't do that much,
Yeah,
but I
there
mean,
you go.
at least Flint might have died anyway. So yeah, unfortunate action by. I mean, well done that you pick up the kill on Moomian on
Yeah,
Bubbles, but sure.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say well done for giving up first blood, but well done not giving up first blood and at least getting a counter kill out of it. There you go.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Middle lane, Witchslayer, B-Kid trying to go up against this Deadwood and this Prophet. Now, Deadwood had a little bit of an advantage with that Hatchet getting very, very early bottle here with the protected farm from the Prophet. But since Prophet left, B-Kid able to get a little bit of CS, up to 7-3 now. But Deadwood still with pretty dang good CS, 16-3, up to 250 gold. Bottle already there, so going to be looking for that 4-minute rune relatively soon here. Are you thinking that once this Deadwood gets active, gets level 7, portal key, what have you, are you thinking he's going to be trying to focus down this Mage Bane a lot, or is he going to work on killing other members of the team and they're just going to completely ignore Mage Bane?
Well, the thing is, this is what we call like gank +1 lineup. This is where you put a lineup. You have pretty much a ganking lineup, such as Deadwood, for instance. And with like, if you notice, they also have the Tundra, so they can have the bird to scout out with. So if they just get, then they also have a lot of push potential. They both have Wild Soul as well as Tempest on that team. Oh, actually, we do see a kill on the top lane. Wow, Flint's got picked off right there.
Yeah, Moon hitting level 6 there off of that kill. Didn't have Cupfield available to him. I am so sorry. I can't even fathom how that just happened. But Funbuster dying. That's
last time I noticed the bear was pretty low, so I'm thinking that he might have been able to like both hit Shell Surf on the bear as well as Wild Soul, and that way giving him like extra damage, you know?
Sure, yeah. If he's able to take out that bear, of course, then Wild Soul with relatively low life, only 600 of his own, could die very, very quickly. But, man, I was not expecting a second kill up there. Moon doing a nice job keeping Wild Soul down to just 200 GPM there in that short lane. Not doing as well as you would expect of a Wild Soul in an easy lane.
Exactly, I had no idea that was going to happen. But I wanted to get back to it because I wasn't even done explaining, so I just got interrupted. How very unpolite by this Moomiander. But actually, look at the middle lane. And Luna comes in with a power throw right after Graveyard Stun by B-Kid, and B-Kid follows up with a silver bullet and picking up the kill onto Deadwood. Very unfortunate play by Bassett's. A good movement from Francie coming in with that power throw. And I mean, that's what you kind of got to admire by Francie. He knows where he's supposed to be and when, and. We just see so good communication in his complexity team. And again, I got interrupted with my story here.
I got interrupted by both of those kills. Like, I'm just trying to get a drink of water. You have my water bottle in my hand. That's my mouse controlling hand. And all of a sudden I see these things, and I just flung my water bottle across the room trying to get the camera back, and now I don't even have any more water. I'm real sad.
Oh boy. That's not fair at all. That's
not good.
We got to talk to them about that.
Yeah, I'm going to have a conversation with these guys. That's really BM.
Oh yeah, so what I want to say with that, what we have here on the help one side is a gang +1 lineup. It pretty much means that you can pick up a very easy kill when you have something like Deadwood, Prophet, Tundra. It's very easy to get up a kill, and as soon as you pick up one kill, you can push the tower. So if you just gang one hero, you can push the tower right after, because there's no way Complexity Gaming wants to be fighting towers 5 versus 4. And seeing as you both have Tempest as well as Wild Soul, pushing towers is really damn easy. So that's kind of that. The lineup firstly got really popular when Navi ran it in Dota like about 2 years ago. They would gank one hero and then they would push the lineup, push the tower right after. And
Moonmeander actually taking some pressure up here in top lane. Wild Soul trying to run him down, maybe get that shell surf force, but Moon doing a good job so far of not using that too early. Now he's stuck over there in those trees. Tempest wants to come over and get the kill, but Keeper of the Forest is actually in position to maybe make something happen as well. Though those Tempest elementals are in fact replicated all the way up to 6 here. Mana ring used, so Moon's going to be able to have enough mana right now. If Keeper of the Forest gets a good root off, they might be able to get a couple of kills here. Tempest already retreating, but this Wild Soul still very vulnerable as Keeper of the Forest stalking him. Chessie wants to get this root off, and now Wild Soul using that ultimate. He's up to almost 1300 life, but no Mystic Vestments just yet, so going to be relatively vulnerable to the magic damage coming out of the Legion team. Moon comfortable, just hanging around right now. Chessie not going to make anything too big happen for the time being.
No, but you gotta admire Moonmeander for having a pair of Steam Boots battery ring as a teacher.
Oh, mid lane, in comes the Graveyard Stun, the Shell Surf, and the Silver Bullet with the Song of the Sea to finish that one off. Moonmeander takes that one home as Bassett's now 0-2-0 on this Deadwood. Not having the start that you're really looking for.
No, definitely not. I gotta say, Moonmeander is playing phenomenal in this game, having now 3 kills and picking up the kill in the mid lane, and Deadwood, what was supposed to be the easiest lane of his life.
Root coming out here in the jungle as well as the kelp field. Oh, even the Tempest Elemental or Elemental Void being used right there. Sweet Pro calling something out as he's saying, man, I didn't want to use that. And a wasted Tempest ultimate there and still getting the death. Pencil's not off to a good start here in game 2. Not playing quite as well as they were in that first game.
No, that was definitely very unfortunate.
Even in top lane now. I'm sorry, it's just non-stop action. Witchslayer ports in with the Graveyard Stun. The beautiful block coming out here by Chessie. It's watching a car on a freeway as somebody blocks you every time you're trying to pass. That's what Chessie is doing with these tree elementals. Just saying, every time that Wild Soul tries to go a different direction, blocking him perfectly. Chessie's Tree Dog Micro is second to none as Wild Soul takes his 3rd death up there, and Complexity continues to put kills on the board, up to 6 now.
And in the middle lane, we do see the Hellborn team going for that push. They tried to pick up a Luna, but Luna, team here got Peter Pan, did a nice duke and got away. So this will be a 1-for-1 tower exchange. Maybe we might actually see a bit of TPs coming out of the top lane. And indeed, we do. We do see the first TP coming off, and Wild Soul has now ported to the top lane and will be able to defend the tower. So Chessie and Beekeeper into Witchland and Give It the Forest are falling back a little bit behind.
All right. Witchslayer coming down to this rune spot. Deadwood was able to bottle that invis, does activate it right there. Level 6 now, going to be able to get that Willowmaker punch off at some point here, but it looks like Beacon, the target right there, is the Willowmaker. The Rotten Grass comes in. The Kelp Field, as well as the Song of the Sea coming in now, as well as Prophet is the focus here. The power throw from Francie going to finish that one off. Moon needs 7 seconds to get that Shell Surf off, but it's not going to happen just yet. The Rotten Grass comes in. Nice job using that take cover for the time being. He gets the Shell Surf off. No uphill miss, and Moonmeander takes a fall there. Sweet Pro, well played in addition to Bassett's there in the middle lane, getting the kill on Bubbles. Starting to equalize things just a little bit, but the X Factor here, Haxerin, at 385 GPM, maybe something around 81 CS with 40 denies at 11 minutes into this game. That's what we talked about. Free farming mage main the entire time. You've got to address that some way. And they're not doing it well enough as they're really losing this game almost 4v5 right now.
Yeah, and well, you gotta admit though, Wildsol is not the best early game hero, because he does have his bear, yeah, sure, but like without a markup brilliance, he doesn't make the hugest impact in these teamfights. He can push easily, but the root is so RNG, so it's not really easy to count on Wildsol in those teamfights. But yeah, definitely Magebane is just completely free farming, so then 390 gold per minute will soon have his rune dags. And yeah, if you look at it, Francis already stacked the half of the jungle now, so right after he's gonna get his rune dag, he's also gonna pop into like...
Oh, in comes the kelp field right here. Keeper of the Forest drops the root. The power throw comes out. Bassett's got a lot of life, so he's not gonna drop too fast, and it looks like the Pencils player is going to be able to get out of there without taking any losses just yet. Deadwood might actually want to turn this around as he's looking for a rotten grasp. The grasp does come in, but it's just on creeps for the time being. Gets a little bit of farm there. B-Kid in the top lane putting out some pressure onto Wildsol, forced to deny his own bear. Now, in the jungle, Sweet Pro has actually just finished up his portal key with that level 10, getting close to level 2 ultimate there. Is Tempest what it's going to take to turn this around here for Pencils?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I like, if you look at the GPM tab, or sorry, the gold tab, they're actually not more than 1k behind in both XP and gold. So it's not looking like, in that regard, it's not looking too bad for Pencils. But that Magebane is definitely scary. I'm really kind of excited to see what kind of GPM we can expect to see from HoN in this game.
Oh, top lane. B-Kid getting initiated on again as Tempest shows off that portal key, gets the Glacial Blasts, the Avalanche coming in from Tundra, as well as the Cold Shoulder. Piercing Shards not even needed at that point as Pencils takes down B-Kid for the second time here. Piercing Shards coming out now, as well as the Tempest Elementals. They're going to be able to get the push here, and it looks like Hellborn getting credit for that kill. Complexity trying to do a little bit of a counter push here mid, but they don't have a lot of pushing power in just a Luna. Bubbles being half mana and half life right now, going to try to retreat as it looks like Pencils is actually going to go for 2 up here in this top lane. Complexity not really able to respond, instead trying to go for counter pushes in both of these other lanes.
And yeah, well, Legion side is gonna pick up a tower, and Legion actually picks up 2 towers, whereas Hellborn only picks up 1. So a 2-for-2 tower exchange, and well, as much as Pencil did get B-Kid, I gotta say, Legion side came out pretty much, well, in the same manner as Hellborn, picked up 2 tower kills. Well done.
Yeah,
and
sorry, go ahead.
That just looked really well. It looked like it was going so well for Pencils, but pushing the second tower right there. But wow, wow. Legion picking up 2 towers. I did not expect to see that.
Yeah, Legion almost picking up a 3rd. Now the Rotten Grass coming in. The Meteors are going to uncloak Chessie on the Keeper of the Forest. The Tempest Elemental Void does come out right there. The ultimate used as well as the Willowmaker, and Chessie does die. But that was 2 ultimates, 2 long cooldown ultimates used, and the tower even going to fall here. It does get denied. But that's 3 towers that Legion just pushed right there, and a lot of map control lost for the gank-heavy Hellborn team.
Yeah, and what's more is that now that the lane is pushed so badly, it's really difficult to gank that Magebane. If Peter Pan just makes sure that the lane is, that the entrance to the forest is watered, it's going to be really difficult to gank HoN while he's clearing these stack camps in the jungle. So he's gonna have a really good time right now. If you look at him, he's already looking at 408 gold per minute. He's probably gonna pick up something like an Abyssal Skull afterwards, followed up by Geometer's Bane. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can expect from HoN in this game. He's gonna be shining. Damn, he's gonna be shining.
Yeah, just continuing to get bigger and bigger. Haxorn leading the charge with 418 gold per minute right now. Tempest and Wildsol both very quick to follow those tower kills, really contributing to that, as well as the triple stacked Ancients that Flensmeister is working on now at 390 and 380 GPM. Those 2 Hellborn players doing pretty well for themselves. The Sword of the High picked up now on Boo Boo, going to be very close to making his way toward that Mock of Brilliance. Tempest with the portal key that he already showed off, going to be finishing up Steam Boots right there and probably making his way toward a Shrunken Head relatively quickly. Portal keys being picked up now on Witch Slayer, on Bubbles, and on Deadwood, as well as Keeper of the Forest. So that's a lot of blinks in this game. That's a total of 5 blink daggers actually now, and 1 innate blink there on Magebait. So lots of high mobility, quick get in there and get the job done action. And this game could turn gank-oriented very fast as Bubbles comes in. The Kelp Field, Song of the Sea, Shell Surf, Silver Bullet from B-Kid. Fine, lets a loud belly laugh come out as he does, in fact, drop to a lot of pressure there from the Legion team.
Yeah, that was a bit of an overkill, but yeah, kill's a kill, as you say. But damn, B-Kid, those silver bullets, that KS, bro, damn. Not the biggest fan, I gotta admit.
So,
but yeah,
go ahead.
Like if you notice, these guys on HoN team is spending a lot of time just kind of hugging each other. Not right now, but just before they were trying to like pick up a kill onto Magebane. So they're actually gathering both Prophet, Deadwood, Tundra, and like I think even Tempest at the right side, while they were just trying to make a kill happen onto Magebane. They didn't accomplish that, and in the meanwhile, Complexity Gaming was just farming all the way around. So it's just so standard that we see Complexity Gaming with 3 players above those 300 GPM. But actually, speaking of which, HoN side also has 3 players above 300 gold per minute. So, wow, Pencil's actually not doing bad in terms of GPM this game compared to last game where they only had 1 guy who would be completely shining, and that was Corrupted Disciple.
Yeah, it's very impressive that Bassett's is actually making a bit of a recovery here now. Those towers, of course, do have a lot to deal with that, pushing down a total of 3 towers so far in this 18-minute game. But Bassett's at 300 GPM here on this Deadwood, finished up that portal key as well as Ghost Marchers now. Not looking bad by any means. He's got the ability, once he hits level 11, to possibly take out this Magebane if Magebane's ever out of position. But that's a big if for Haxer and one of the best carry players. But no, in comes Deadwood, actually getting caught out right now as Tempest comes in. But the Song of the Sea silencing Sweet Pro on that Tempest just a little bit too much. The root comes in here from Tempest, and he might go for the Elemental Void, and he does, but there's nobody in it. Now, actually, Magebane and Witchslayer are both walking into it, but the Graveyard Stun comes out. Sweet Pro Dawn, the Tempest does fall. The Shell Surf does come in and cleans up the Prophet there. Fine, dropping once again in that middle lane, and Complexity with 5 players up right now, going to make a push here on this middle lane. Tundra comes in, but the Shell Surf, Song of the Sea from Moon Meander, the Graveyard Stun after the portal key, and Haxer comes up trying to get the last hit, but Chessie's on that Keeper of the Forest does in fact get that one. Now 1 player left. The only one alive is in fact this Wild, so who's going to be looking to try to get something done. He did find that in the middle lane, backdooring one of the towers there. Going to make his way home and finish up that Mock of Brilliance soon. Deadwood actually coming in. He wants to get a kill on Magebane, but Magebane going to blink out at the very last second there. Haxer and living life on the edge.
Yeah, that was a very clutch team fight right there. That was actually not a bad Tempest ulti by any means, but he just didn't have any follow-up, and that's what I mean. Right now, if the HoN side wants to make something happen, they need absolutely everyone to be involved in these team fights. Wildsoul probably has his Mark of Brilliance right now, so he can actually make action happen. And, well, the damage output from the HoN side definitely has to come from that Deadwood as well as the Wildsoul. If you look at the damage tab, the hero damage overall, if you just click your 5 key right there, look at the damage done by the HoN team. It's absolutely insignificant. It's insignificant.
Yeah, Moon Meander with 25%. I mean, that's the thing that I've got to point out. I'm sure there's a lot of Moon fans out there. 25% of the damage in this game being done by Moon Meander. Shout out to a huge Bubbles player right here, as he's done some serious work. 6, 2, and 5 in this game, running around hasted right now with the portal key and the push stick. He wants to make something happen. Moon, always such an aggressive player, constantly wants to get kills, but not able to make anything happen right now. Instead, going to come down here and drop a Shell Surf as well as a Song of the Sea, and there he does. Cleans up 6 creep kills. Wouldn't that be something if he cleaned up 6 heroes?
I wouldn't be surprised. If anyone, it could be Moon.
Oh, top lane. Deadwood tries to come in there with the Rotten Grass. Not quite able to, as B-Kid gets on out of there without taking too much damage. No damage, actually.
I gotta say, this game is looking pretty much in favor of Complexity Gaming. They're playing so well right now at the top of the game, and wow, the mistakes coming out from Complexity Gaming are just at a minimal right now. And maybe that's because I'm not a good enough player to spot them, but wow, I feel like they're playing really great right now. We see stacks coming out from Peter Pan, and we see completely great warding. Mates being completely free farming. They're executing these team fights really well. They're not letting the enemy team getting free stuff. Well, I mean, they did let Wildsoul get a free tower just before, but they still got a tower in return and won a team fight. So Complexity Gaming playing really well right now, I gotta say.
They most certainly are. Now, more blinks being picked up here. Total of 6 portal keys in this game as Tundra picks his up. Wildsoul making his way, towards that Soul's Bulwark right there, as he does, in fact, just pick that one up. Shrunken Head on the way for Tempest as well. And Deadwood trying to get in here. He does, in fact, drop the Rotten Grasp onto Bubbles. The Willowmaker comes out, and one auto attack. Moon Meander falls right there. The deny on the tower in the top lane. Pablo McDad brings that one home and says, not today, Complexity. So, Pencil's got some fight left in them there, and starting to bring it back towards their own favor.
And that is exactly what they need to be doing. But the thing is, the only one who can do it on the HoN team is Deadwood. Deadwood needs to be making these pickups happen, but it's difficult when your ultimate has 60 seconds cooldown. If it was like 10 seconds ultimate, 10 seconds cooldown, sure, you could do it, but 60 seconds in between every kill, and you have to line up those kills, and you have to be lucky to get them. And Moomian was very far up there. He's probably not gonna be doing that once again. So, it's difficult for being Hellborn right now. But what do you think they have to do in order to come back into the game?
I mean, really, they're just going to have to kind of play it safe. They need to not be getting picked off at this point, and they also need to try to force something to happen in terms of getting Haxorn down, maybe getting a couple of offensive wards up. But in order for that to happen, they're going to need to get a pick. Otherwise, they're never going to have safe passage into the opposing team's jungle. Once they're able to get a little bit of map control back, then they might be able to make some advantageous team fights happen, but it's really going to all come down to somebody on Complexity being out of position, perhaps, and that might happen here in the middle lane as the Willowmaker comes out, the Rotten Grasp as well. B-Kid comes in. He does, in fact, take that graveyard stun right there. B-Kid does fall, though. Haxorn comes back in. He's able to get that one cleaned up as Prophet now the focus here for the Complexity team. The ultimate coming out, and he does, in fact, fall. Magebane taking a little bit of a route there as well. The Avalanche came out. Didn't even see who it was targeted on, but nobody just yet. And it looks like, I don't know, what kind of happened there for Pencils. That was a very disorganized team fight. Tempest even using an ultimate. I didn't even see that go off.
It went off for about 0.1 second. It's like Sweetbro has been so unfortunate with his ultimates this game, and even though he's sitting at 330 GPM, which is decent for a Tempest, he's just not really having that much luck in this game. He hasn't really made that many tower pushes. He's not been able to execute really well, very well ultimates. So this is just looking very, very grim for the HoN team. And as far as I know, did we actually see
bottom lane? Wildsoul being caught out there. The silence being applied by the Song of the Sea. Luna comes in. She wants to get that stun there. It is the Boo Boo Bear trying to turn it around. The Maca Brilliance doing quite a bit of damage, and he's going to get the counter kill on Luna, but he might pay for it with his own life. Moon Meander TPing in very low himself. Now the Bear tries to get the last hit, but not going to happen. Moon actually dodging the piercing shards there. Is Pablo McDad now might get turned around on the portal key coming in there from Bassett's, but now he's in some trouble. The Hex coming out. The Rotten Grasp does, in fact, miss. The Kelp Field comes back in as Moon drops this Song of the Sea. Shell surfs on out of there. The Kelp Field does expire, and now Chessie trying to chase down Fane on that Prophet, and Haxorn comes and cleans that one up. Pablo McDad, the only one left standing, and he in fact is going to fall as well. Bassett's buying back there on Deadwood, but will it be in time? Not able to get in there. Looks like Sweet Pro's in the location, in the vicinity, but no, the GGs come out. The Call to Concede does, in fact, pass. The Willowmaker comes out, and B-Kid might die there. No, he's actually going to get out of there. Bassett's wanted that one so bad, but no, B-Kid's going to survive. And that is that. Complexity takes this series in HoN Tour 2-0. Pencils not getting a chance in this one.
Oh, I gotta say, I am Wow, I'm a little bit surprised that the game happened the way it did right here. I was kind of expecting a little bit more of a fight from our team coming down in what's they called? What they call? They call
Pencils?
pencils. No,
Pencils.
I was thinking of PNIS because that's like the tag they're wearing
Yeah.
at HoN Tour. So yeah, but wow, I'm I'm surprised and I'm impressed by Complexity's game at the same time.
You know, Complexity, they're nothing special or innovative, but they are just the cleanest team around when it comes to just not making mistakes and really being able to stay in the game throughout, even if they are behind at points. So, very nice job. This has been another Complexity Cast production. I'm your casting host, Beef. Thank you for watching, guys. Joining me today was FJ. FJ, any shout outs before we close this cast down for the night?
No, shout out to my stream if you guys liked what you saw here and wants to watch me play a bit of HoN. I'm not going to be casting as much as B4Pi, but I'd definitely love to join him again. You can find me at Twitch TV/FJ with love, and I'll be doing some TMMing and some random stuff just for the fun of it. Shout out to B4Pi, and thank you so much for doing this. I am sure that not just me, but anyone, that many other people are enjoying your casts a lot, and these complexity scrims are amazing to watch, as well as expect complexity real games.
Well, FJ, thank you very much for being here. It's very, very late. It's going on, what, 3 in the morning over there?
It's yeah, right now it's 3:30, so yeah, I'm definitely getting a little bit tired, I gotta admit, but
All right. Well, I will let you go then. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'd definitely love to have you back on here. I'm going to be doing a little bit of traveling tonight, but once I get back set up, hopefully later this weekend, going to be doing some more HoN Tour games as well as complexity scrims as usual, Monday through Thursday. So make sure to tune in for that, guys. Once again, this is brought to you by Complexity Gaming. Check them out at complexitygaming.com, Facebook, Complexity Gaming, and Twitter, Complexity Live. Huge shout out to Complexity sponsors QPAD, PNY, Origin, Sound Blaster. A huge shout out to Gate 58 over there in Aarhus, Denmark, where Moonmander's scrimming. Well, he's not scrimming right now, but where Moonmander's been scrimming and playing from while he's over there visiting with Haxer. They're a great, cozy place with great computers, so make sure to check them out. Also, check me out here on twitch.tv, twitch.tv/beefpotpie1, YouTube, youtube.com/beefpotpie1, and Twitter at beefpotpie1. I go live and let you know on Twitter whenever we're doing something. Make sure to follow Complexity as well this weekend. They're going to be playing some more HoN Tour games, and check out HoNcast. Well, they'll be broadcasting live. I'm going to be broadcasting live HoN Tour games as well, starting in Cycle 1. Don't have access to that just yet, but look out for that one. And also a huge shout out to my good friend Defy92 on Twitch TV. He does Photoshop and League of Legends as well as graphic design here for my stream and the Complexity stream. So thank you very much, Defy. All right, guys, we are out for the night. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you next time.